So this week, while we're having these teachings, we're all doing BBCs. So Venerable children can speak to us for 3 hours a day or more. So, and that's one reason. And I've been contemplating some teachings by Geshe Rapton, and for a little while, this one chapter in his Lamrim text. And so this BBC, I'll speak about one part, and the next BBC another. This part is about something that he wrote that actually helped me quite a bit. And it's in this context of, we have realized that the problem is not outside of us, that we need to work on our own minds. And in that, our basic problem is our ignorance, right? And that makes it so that we don't see things properly. The reality that exists is really not what we're seeing. And this is the basis of our defilements or our afflictions. And so when we meet certain external conditions, this strong sense of an I comes up, right? Gets us into a lot of trouble. So that I knew. And also Venerable Children had told me a while back to think about when I thought something wasn't fair, to look at who was it going to benefit, essentially. Like when something isn't fair, what's really going on here? So, when we do this meditation about the four-point analysis and we're trying to evoke this strong sense of I, they often say when you're wrongly accused or if somebody praises you. And for me, those are strong, the sense comes up. But I have to say what trumps them all is when I think something isn't fair. Like those other ones, I seem to be able to dispel. Doesn't take that long, but that sense of fairness, I've watched my mind just churn on this. And I used to think it was because I was raised in a democratic society and things should be, this way. And then when Venerable pointed that out, that I realized, wow, this is really the self-centered thought here. It's just like, it's got to be my way or I'm not going to be happy. But even when I looked at the situations that way, then I would turn it and say, and I can be happy for this person because they're going to do this, and whatever it was, always this but would come up in my mind. And I'm like, I'd paint the scenario in a way that I should be really happy about, and I actually can be happy for the other person, but they, but this, but you said, but, these things would keep coming up. And then at one point, this is when I was reading this text, and I don't know how these two got together in my mind, but so what is causing these afflictions is this strong sense of self, right? Kind of the answer to your question. When this strong sense of self comes up, where's the connection and where things go wrong, right? Well, here he said, based on this innate sense of self, we divide the world into two, mine and the rest. And that just kind of hit me like a lead balloon. I think because I'd always, looked at it from the side of I, this person, and somehow, I don't know, that works to a certain level, but I'd never really thought about mine. And I think this is the thing that happened with fairness. Like, this is really mine. Okay, I can give it to you. I could be happy that you have it. But when it all came down to it, I was like a 2-year-old with all my toys around me. And these are mine, and they don't belong to anyone else in the whole universe. And that's kind of really the thing that broke this loose because then I had to sit there and say, well, what is mine about this? And I actually, really think about it. What is mine about this robe that I can actually legitimately call mine? Even that, there's nothing mine in it. So then things that really aren't yours, or, conditions change, things are always changing, right? So I would just suggest that maybe in our reflections that we think about when something gets, when something we can't get everything to work, we have to kind of stay with it. And this is what's great about the wisdom of listening, reading, is that we come across these things and every once in a while they just boom, that's it. So maybe you can think about that, how this innate sense of self, the problem, this is what we were talking about yesterday, we divide the world into two, mine and the rest. We're like a bunch of 2-year-olds. So then next time, some days from now, we'll talk about another part of this text. It's one more that I have questions on, and I'm going to ask for participation in this as a short discussion.